Don't start an Amazon FBA business or a business at all for that matter with the economy the way that it is. Now, this might be something that you're hearing a lot, and I get it. There's a lot going on right now with the world, more than we can discuss in one video. But e-commerce sale trends is not one of those problems. E-commerce sale trends are growing exponentially. And in the year 2026, it's projected that worldwide e-commerce sales will hit 8.1 trillion US dollars. That is just a massive number. So while there should be concerns with some businesses, the way that everything's going with the world and recessions being in question, e-commerce trends are only going up. And that's for a number of reasons. If you think about it, e-commerce is so convenient. The average person, the average consumer, what do they say that they don't have enough of? Time. And what does shopping online do for people? It gives them more time. It frees them up from having to go into stores and waste time perusing around the shelves. They can go online, order what they want quickly within minutes, a click of a button, and it is going to show up at their doorsteps. And Amazon FBA is climbing to be the #1 vehicle to provide this service. So should you start an Amazon FBA business this year? Is it a good business decision for you? Absolutely. However, under certain stipulations, I don't think starting an Amazon FBA business is the right idea for everybody. But it is a great idea for a large group of people if they're ready for it. So in this video, I'm going to give you 6 reasons if you are considering starting an Amazon business, 6 reasons why if you're not ready for these things, then you're not ready to start the business. But all formalities out of the way, if you don't know me, I'm Cassandra. I am an Amazon FBA seller, and every week I come right here on ProfitGuru to give you guys all of my updates about Amazon FBA, how my business is doing, ways that you can effectively learn how to source and run your own business, everything FBA related. So if you're into that, please hit the subscribe button and like this video because it really helps with the algorithms. So this video is especially for you guys who you're learning about FBA. Maybe you're seeing people say that they make money, which it is very likely to make money with Amazon FBA. It is an amazing business model, but here are 6 things that you definitely have to consider before jumping into this business. Number 1. Don't start an Amazon FBA business if you think that you're just going to jump into it and make a lot of money fast. The thing with Amazon FBA is there is a huge learning curve that you're going to have to get over. And within that learning curve, you're going to learn how to sell on Amazon, all the do's, all the don'ts, as well as sourcing strategies. That is the main thing to making money. If you don't have products to sell, then you don't have any money coming in. And on top of that, you can't just sell anything you want on Amazon. It's not like eBay where you can open up an account and then just start listing everything you want. You are going to be gated, the gate will be shut, and you will not be able to sell in many thousands of different brands. So the key with building a really successful Amazon store is starting small, figuring out what is ungated for you, putting in the patience and the work to figure out, okay, where can I start? Is pets open for me? Is office supplies open for me? And then within those categories, now scanning products to figure out which brands are ungated for you. The gate is open and you can sell them. And the only way to know exactly what you are permitted to sell is to go into your Amazon Seller Central, either on the laptop or using the app, and start scanning different products and brands. Request approval for everything, and Amazon will upfront tell you if you are ungated or if you need further documents to ungate. So don't start an Amazon FBA business if you think you're going to open up your account and now all of a sudden, boom, you're selling thousands of products and you're making thousands of dollars. It really is a slow process, especially in the beginning, selling where you can and proving to Amazon you're a good seller, and over time you will see more brands and products that you are available to sell. But I'm telling you right now, you're not just going to get rich overnight. It is a process of learning when you're selling on Amazon before you can really reach that growth of making in enough money to quit your job. The second reason is if you don't have any money built up in your savings. Now, there's a variety of different models you can do with Amazon. You can do arbitrage, where you're going online or going to the stores, you're buying things that already exist, you're relisting, and you're selling them. You can do wholesale, where you are getting things in bulk. You're buying large volumes at a discounted price. Or you can do private label, where you're getting your own trademark, your own brand, you're manufacturing your own products, and you're bringing them to the market. So as you can see, very different models, and they all require a different amount of money. Clearly, private label, it involves a lot and the most money to do. Wholesale, you're probably going to need at minimum a couple $1,000s to get started, as well as your business and reseller credentials. Now, arbitrage, if you're a new seller, this is where you're probably going to want to come in and step into the game. And to do arbitrage, you really don't need thousands of dollars to start up. This can be something where you are working your way up. You're reinvesting your profits each month, and you're building and building and building. You're not paying yourself out. You're putting all your profits back in to keep growing your store. However, there's no guarantee that things are going to go great. So if you don't have those extra few $100s where you're probably going to need at least to start with arbitrage, you could start with like $50, buy $50 in inventory and roll that over. But that is going to be a very small level of growth. So ideally, you probably want to have at least a few $100s. But in the beginning, you're not going to be great at reading the data and determining if this product is actually a 100% winner. I know me personally, in the beginning, I bought a ton of products that just sat there for months. If they're sitting there, then my money is tied up into them and they're sitting. I'm not getting the cost of goods back, and I'm not getting any profits back. So if you have zero cushion for a savings, then Amazon FBA, starting this business is not for you. You definitely want to have enough of a cushion where if your products aren't selling and you're not going to turn over a profit quickly, you'll still be okay. So make sure that you at least have your cushion of, I would say, at least a few $100s before you decide to start an Amazon FBA business. The third reason why you won't want to start an Amazon FBA business is if you are not invested in the learning process. I mentioned earlier that selling on Amazon, there is definitely a learning curve. You're going to come into it feeling completely confused, not knowing at all what you're doing. And trust me, I was there. Any new seller feels this way because there is just so much going on. And don't feel like you need to learn everything at once. What I did is I just consumed as much of YouTube as I could. And the confusing part with this is everything is just kind of out of order, right? Like you're watching videos here and there, but you're not really sure what you need to know first and then next. So it's going to seem very confusing at first. But don't just jump in until you have at least some back end of what you're doing. Because the smallest mistakes, Amazon's watching. You have an account health, and if that account health does not stay in good standings, you will get shut down. So the first place to go to is to just watch YouTube videos. And don't feel afraid when you feel confused, because that is going to happen. But I guarantee you, keep consuming, keep learning, and all of a sudden, it's all going to click. It's like an umbrella. It's going to click, and you're going to say, okay, I think I understand now. The other place you can go is to the Seller University. Anytime you have a question you're unsure of, there is guaranteed a way to find the answer if you can't find it on YouTube in the Amazon Seller University. From your Seller Central dashboard, come right down to Learn and Seller University. This is the place where you can get anything answered that you might be contemplating. There are so many good videos in here. You have an intro right here, how to do your workflows, listing products, literally every question that you have. If you can't find it quickly on Amazon, come right here to the Seller University. You can even type in the question that you have, and then you will see the answer pop right up here. And typically it is in a nice video format, so you can just watch it and learn. But don't skip out on this part, because you really do need to know what Amazon expects from you as a seller and to abide by these rules. It is so important for your account health. And if your account health gets too low and you have too many infractions, Amazon will make sure that you do not sell on their platform anymore. So take learning the basics and learning everything that you should very, very seriously. Reason number 4 why you might not want to start an Amazon FBA business: if you do not have the time to invest into it. Selling on Amazon is surely a model of you are going to get out what you put in. And I feel like too many people come over to the idea of selling on Amazon because they see videos of people saying that they drive these expensive cars and all they have to do is sit on the beach and they're making all of this money passively. Amazon FBA is not a passive business model. Passive means that you are just going to produce something, spend time on producing it, put it up, and then money's just going to keep coming in on repeat. That's not how Amazon works. If you are not actively putting in the hours to find the products to sell, to find the new ASINs, to find the new wholesale accounts, to find the new products to private label and bring to the market. If you're not putting in the hours to do this, then you're not going to be getting the profits out. I know me personally, those months that I invest the hours, I sit down, I put everything else on hold. My family's on hold, my friends are on hold, and I'm sitting in front of the computer doing hours of research on products to make sure they meet my criteria, to make sure they're going to bring back profit. When I'm doing that, I have amazing months. But those months where I just kind of sit back and I have more of a relaxed month, I'm not investing the hours doing product sourcing or prepping my products, my sales volumes definitely reflect that. So I just want to make that very clear. When you start an Amazon FBA business, it is going to require a ton of your time, especially in the beginning when you're not only trying to find products to sell, but you're also trying to learn all of the rules and the standards that comes with selling on Amazon's platform. So do not start an Amazon FBA business unless you are willing to, in the beginning, I would say I would daily invest at least a couple of hours into doing the research, watching the videos. Even now, having a store that's running, I know how Amazon works, I know all of the rules. If I'm not doing something for at least an hour a day with researching my products, finding new products to sell, uploading my inventory, then I'm not making any money. So don't jump into this unless you have the dedicated time to do so, or else you're not going to make money. It's as simple as that. You are going to get out what you put in with your Amazon FBA business. You can't just lay out on a beach and expect money to keep flowing in. Don't get me wrong, if I'm going on vacation in April, then I know I can sit back on the beach for a week and make money. But the month before, in March, I'm going to be investing extra time making sure that I have a ton of products and that my store is loaded so that I can make money while I sit on the beach. All in all, the moral of this one, don't start a business if you think you're just going to get money. You definitely have to be putting in the hours to get that money. The fifth reason why you might not want to start an Amazon FBA business right now, if you are afraid of taking risks. Now, every business has a certain level of risk involved, and that is exceptionally true when it comes to selling on Amazon, because a lot can go wrong, especially if you do not know how to do the research beforehand on your products. For example, you might be ungated through Amazon to sell a specific brand, but that does not mean that the brand themselves want to be selling their products. This is called an IP violation. And one of my earliest ones was from the brand Piggy Paint. They sell safe nail polish. Now, Amazon told me I was ungated. I clicked request approval and they said, you're approved to sell this brand. So I thought, okay, I can sell this brand. Great. I found some at Target. I bought quite a few units, loaded it in, sent it off to the warehouse, and the brand emailed me the next day and they said, you are not authorized to sell our products, remove them immediately or else. So getting those IP violations, that's just one level of risk. There's actually several risks you take every time you upload something onto Amazon. Another risk could be price tanking. I've gotten onto listings, everything looked good, it seemed like I could sell this product for $18, and then bam, 20 other sellers came onto the listing, sellers that didn't know what they were doing and just wanted to penny drop that buy box thinking that the lowest person who had the lowest offer would get the buy box. That's not the case. Don't be that person and just keep lowering the buy box by a penny. But that's what can happen sometimes. And the buy box can just keep going lower and lower because sellers are just competing too much with each other. And now guess what? There's no profit to be made for anybody. Listings can also go bad. I was selling a cake topper and all of a sudden I noticed that the product image went away. There was no product image anymore. Then the week after, all of my inventory was sent back to me by Amazon. And this can happen for a number of reasons. Whoever made that listing might not have set it up correctly. There might be details in there that are not correct. And because these listings are shared by several sellers, anyone can then go in and modify the listings. So there is definitely a high level of risk you take with selling on Amazon, as well as decision fatigue. You're going to learn how to look at data and decide if something is good, and then you're going to sit there. Even if that product looks good, even if you said, okay, I dotted all my I's, I crossed all my T's, you might just sit there and say, oh man, I don't know. Should I pull the trigger on this or not? So be okay with a level of risk, because it definitely takes some risk taking to be selling on Amazon. And here we are, the 6th reason why you don't want to start an Amazon FBA business this year. But before I get to that, I just want to thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I hope this video was of value for you and that you are learning some things from it. And if you're new to the game, that is helpful in you to decide whether or not this is something that you should pursue. Okay, the 6th reason why you might not want to start an Amazon FBA business is if you have control issues. Now, using the FBA model, a lot is going to be out of your hands that you can't control. You decide on your inventory, yes. You might be prepping that inventory on your own if you're not using a prep center, but then once you send it off to the warehouse, it is not on you anymore. Amazon is in total control. They are going to take it off the shelves and prep it when a customer orders it. They are going to send it off to the customer. So the condition of how it gets to them, you don't know. You don't know what type of poly bag or box or the packaging that they're going to do to get your product to the customer. You also don't know what kind of conditions they're going to be handling it in the warehouse. Things can drop, things can get broken. You just don't know. And once the customer gets the product, if they're not happy, Amazon's handling the customer service, not you. So for a lot of people, paying the extra FBA fee for Amazon to do all of this for us, it seems like it's a good trade. But for some people, if you're a type A personality and you really want to be in control and in the loop for every step of the process, you might not like the FBA model, because a lot of it, Amazon's going to have the control, not you. However, if that is something you're worried about, you could elect to do the FBM model instead, which is fulfilled by merchant. You are the warehouse. You are taking products and prepping it and sending it out to the customer as they're ordered. And if there is any customer concerns, you are handling those complaints. Is it an ideal business model? I don't think so, because you're going to be spending a lot of time shipping things out and dealing with the customers. But if you can't handle giving that control over to Amazon, then you could elect to do the FBM model. So there you have it. Do I think that Amazon FBA is going to just fail and go downhill? Absolutely not. I think that the stats are exactly correct and that e-commerce is going to exponentially keep growing year after year after year. It is just too convenient for the average consumer. I think right now is an amazing time to start your Amazon FBA business if those 6 things that I just mentioned are things that you have under control and that you are okay with. But if you can't say yes to all 6 of those factors, then don't start an Amazon FBA business just yet. Get those things under control, feel comfortable with them, learn how to sell on Amazon, know that you're not going to get rich the second day you open up your account, have a little bit of a cushion to fall back on, be okay with taking risk. All of these things, if you have them, then I think starting an Amazon FBA business can completely change your life. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I hope this was helpful for you all. Let me know down in the comments which one you found to be particularly interesting for you, or the one that you're kind of deciding if you can handle it or not. I would love to know your thoughts. That's it for this one, and I'll see you in the next video.